Hi, my name is Christina Dickinson and I'm the Head of Admissions and Marketing here at Green School Bali. We'll just give everybody a few minutes to settle in, get comfortable in front of your screen. You're more than welcome to turn on your camera. You don't have to. I know there's a lot of families joining us from Europe this morning, so if you feel more comfortable leaving the camera off, that is fine as well. We are joining you here live from the heart of the school here at Bali Green School. If the team could just swing up the camera just to have a look up there. So this is what we see when we look up, which is the stunning architecture of the Bamboo campus, just to give you a little bit of an idea where we are located at the moment. And so, as I mentioned, this is the heart of the school, and it is also the home for the middle school classes as well. So they're super privileged. Okay, so just to give you a bit of a rundown what's going to happen today. So we're going to introduce you to Ibu Kate, our Head of Community and Environment, and Paxel, our Head of Learning. And they will share lots and lots of information about the curriculum and everything that you need to know about the Green School. And then we will also be joined by some lovely parents who give a little bit of feedback and share more about their experience here and settling into Bali as well. Okay, without further ado, we get started and I will introduce you to Ibu Kate and Paxel.
Hey Christina, thank you so much, and hello everyone out there. Give us a wave. Thank you. Oh, beautiful.
Kia ora, if you're in New Zealand, I can see that in the chat. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for giving us some time today. As Christina said, this session is really for you, so please use this opportunity to ask some questions. We've got a few presentations and pieces of information to share with you to kind of warm up the crowd a little bit, but we really do want to know what you want to know. So please do, as we go through the session, pop your questions in the chat. No question too small or too large. Both Sal and myself have a lot of experience at Green School between us, so we hope we can offer answers to all of your questions today. So speaking of Sal, he is right here beside me, our Head of Teaching and Learning, Sal Gordon. Do you want to say hello to our friends?
Yeah, I'd love to say hello. Thanks, Kate. Hi everyone, my name's Sal Gordon. I'm an Australian educator. I've been at Green School Bali for 10 years. This is my 11th year. I joined in the middle school and was head of middle school for a while, and this is my 5th year as the Head of Teaching and Learning. That's the principal at Green School Bali. Look, I'm a little bit of an education revolutionary. I believe schools and education should change. I also think they've probably been in a time capsule for too long. We know the world is changing fast, and I think education systems need to change too. So we're really happy and I'm really happy personally to be able to share a little bit about my journey and about the journey of Green School Bali, and in a little while I'll talk specifically about our learning program, our curriculum. But this place has changed my life as a personal thing, but also as a professional, and so it's always with great excitement that we start sharing and yeah, these times, even though you'll get a lot of authenticity and openness and honesty from me today, even though it's the end of a long day in the jungle, I'm really happy to be here today, and to maybe this is the start of an experience for you that might change your life and the life of your family.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sal. So friends, I'm going to invite Sal to dive into all things teaching and learning at Green School in a little bit, because we want to share with you more than you will get by reading the website or following the school on various platforms. So we want to dive into that, and you'll get the chance to hear from Sal in more detail across our 5 learning neighbourhoods. So that's early years, primary school, middle school, high school, and of course our immersive English language program, Green School English. So I'll invite Sal to do that in a minute, but just to recap what Christina said at the beginning, we are here for you today. We have some guests joining us, some Green School parents, new Green School parents, joining us on the bamboo settee later in the session, but we also have, after Sal's presentation, a little video package that we've put together for you, which is our campus highlights tour. So to give you, again, some more insights into the beautiful and really unique campus that we have here at Green School, beyond what you can see by visiting the website. So, of course, if you can come in person at any stage, we would absolutely love that. But we'll share as much as we can with you today. We are coming to you live from the campus, and I think our students are going to be out from classes very soon. They return to their base camp or their homerooms at the end of the day before the school day is over. So, as Sal always says, anything can happen, particularly when we're coming to you live. So there might be a bit of background noise. So keeping it real at Green School. So, Sal, I'm going to ask you to get prepared, maybe to share a bit on all things learning experience for the children, but just to let you know a little bit more about myself, I'm the head of community and environment at Green School. I get to look after a lovely swag of things, including our Green Camp programs, our events at Green School, and some of our bigger environmental systems, services and solutions that the whole community can engage with. So that's my bag of goodies, and I've been here for, I think, almost 12 years. And 2 children, my eldest 2 have graduated from Green School already, and my youngest, who started in kindy in early years, has just started grade 12, so in his final year at Green School. So, all right, Sal, I've given you a chance to limber up while I've been nattering here, so I will throw to you. And while Sally's speaking, please do put your questions in the chat, because we look forward to the live Q&A piece later on. Sal,
Thanks, Kate. Yeah.
over to you.
Well, it's always a pleasure to share something that's special to me as a professional, but also special to me as a person in terms of educating for a sustainable future. When we talk about sustainability at Green School, we're talking about meeting the needs of now and the future, and I think that's a role for all educational institutions and all teachers. We've designed and developed our own curriculum based on world's best practice, looking at other international and national curriculums around the world. We think that our curriculum is alive, but it's also evolving, it's relevant to the real world, and provides students to do something with their learning that's so much more important than just a test. Now, our philosophy at Green School, this new model that we've created is based on our mission. We're a community of learners making our world sustainable. We've created a new model of what a school looks like, which you can see for the time that you're with us today. We've also developed a new way of how a school community functions within itself and connects to other local and global communities. But really what I want to talk today about is how and what we teach and learn. To start off with, it's important that you know that a sustainable future needs to have strong academic learning. We have really strong proficiency programs in school. We know that it's important for students to develop excellent written and spoken communication skills. We also know that it's important for students to not only develop an understanding and appreciation, but to see the magic of numbers and patterns and problem solving in mathematics. In addition, an understanding and an application of science and technology are important parts of our academic proficiency program. Our Green School curriculum has literacy, mathematics and science learning programs where the academic learning outcomes are much the same as other schools all around the world. In early years and primary school, our literacy curriculum has a strong phonics program, and across the school we focus on global literacy strands such as listening, reading, speaking and writing. The students in our high school program have the opportunity to study advanced mathematics, advanced literacy, AP calculus, AP environmental science, humanities. We've got small groups of students that choose those and do exams like AP calculus. Our maths strands, a number, measurement, geometry, statistics, probability and algebra, and they're standard to schools everywhere. What we like to do is integrate skills and values-based learning opportunities and sustainability themes within those mathematical strands. Our science program across the lower school focuses on environmental science through a pretty awesome Green Studies program. And in middle school and high school, students study more traditional biology, chemistry and physics in their science learning experiences. There are many environmental science options as well. Importantly, like I said at the start, please don't think that academic learning is not as important as thematic and experiential learning or project learning. We know that a sustainable future needs intelligent, productive, active, problem-solving, communicative people. To show you what a little bit of that learning program looks like, I'd love you to watch this next video. At Green School, we believe that students learn more from how they are taught than what they're taught. But the what is taught is pretty awesome too. We believe that learning is most powerful and impactful when it's real. You know, it's got to be relationship-centred, experiential and authentic. Learning needs to be fun, yeah? It needs to be relevant and should be reflective of the world we live in. We know students learn better through experiential learning, and our programs are designed so students are able to learn by doing, not just through books and instructions. This hands-on approach engages students to own their own learning journey and pushes our educators to create programs that ensure student involvement and engagement through creative teaching approaches. The High School Martian Unit is just one example of a new type of Green School Way learning experience. It's a thematic style unit that integrates mathematics, physics, biology, literacy, social studies, philosophy, and more. Because life isn't something that we can compartmentalise into separate subjects, and learning programs shouldn't be set up as distinct, unrelated units or classes. The world and our existence is a complex and beautiful system of interconnected systems, and learning programs need to reflect that real world.
A lot of other systems and schools tend to put an emphasis on content learning, whereas Green School, we really try and blend these equally and make it not only equitable in that way, but dynamic and fun and an energized learning experience with layers to the learning, which is at times not straightforward and a bit messy and spontaneous. And that's just the learning experience that we love here at Green School. The idea to the Martian class came about conversation with another teacher that recommended the book. And he said, you just have to read this book and you have to teach this book. And it has just been such a really full experience for everybody.
Don't teach the student how to solve math, but show them where they need to use the math problem. The Martian class, we put literacy on it, math, science on it. So we put also astronomy or space on it. I'm really glad because this is beyond my expectation. Because one group create a rover itself from the Arduino. They create a computer base, so they put a sensor. So whenever there's let's say bamboo in front of them, the rover can turn.
As we do at Green School, we believe in very much alternative assessment. So there's different ways in which the student can demonstrate their understanding. Do you think that coding, technology, computer technology is a skill likened to that of changing a flat tire of yesteryear? So really coming to think about how the future of science is going to look and what it's going to mean and how widespread it's going to be as a skill. As we know, very much this is a time in which there's a lot of investment in science and technology. For teachers, I think it's so important that they know how important they are and the role that they play. They are really the impetus for whatever we're going to see next in this world. They have the ability to shape that more so than anybody else.
Anyone can teach maths, literacy, science, anything through course books. And we do some of that too. But real learning is when students use information, skills, values. When they solve problems, they think creatively, they communicate effectively. When students can do something with their learning now, that is real learning. And it's the Green School way of learning, something that will stay with students for the rest of their lives. Great. It's a pretty awesome video, and it's just one example of a learning experience at Green School Bali. Our Green School Bali YouTube channel is full of those types of videos that you can see what the learning looks like across different ages across the school. I'd like to talk about skills and values because, when I went to school, I really only just learned information, and I only learned information to pass a test. But we know that skills and values are transferable across time. I don't even really like calling them 21st century skills because they're skills that are very human to us, and the values underpinning them help us to learn in an active, positive way. We focus learning activities across the school on our life skills, our Green School skills, and our values. Our Green School skills, as you can see there, are think critically, think creatively, think in systems, collaborate, communicate, activate, be aware, adapt, solve problems. Like I said, they're transferable across time and they're skills for a sustainable future. Our values we call I Respect, and that stands for integrity, responsibility, equity, sustainability, peace, community and trust. You know, we believe that academic learning alongside skills and values adds meaning and impact to the learning experience. Thematic learning isn't new in education, but it's something that we do really well at Green School. It's a very important part of our curriculum. You know, in traditional education, we go to a literature class, a maths class, a science class, humanities, arts, physical well-being, and they're all taught in isolation. But we know that the real world doesn't work that way. Thematic or integrated learning opportunities, they're what connects our learning to the real world, to real world issues. They provide opportunities for skills and values learning opportunities as well. And they also just go way beyond the formal assessment models that we have for students, because we provide students ways to activate their learning. We use different lenses to help guide our thematic program. You know, in the lower school, we use the permaculture principles that provide a framework for thematic learning. For example, one thematic in primary school and early years is Gifts from the Earth, where students across those learning neighbourhoods learn about our local environment, grow a connection to the natural world and look for ways to respect our natural resources and live in a sustainable way. In the middle school, most thematics are based on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So you get units on the oceans or access to education, poverty, production and consumption. There's so many amazing learning opportunities directly related to the real world through that thematic program. You know, in high school, like you saw in that Martians unit, the majority of courses are thematic in some form. You know, as a student learning journey continues, we want to be interconnected to the real world. We want literature, mathematics, science, humanities, arts, languages, physical well-being. We want them all to be strong parts of our program, and we do that in really cool ways in our high school program. Another thing I think Green School Bali does really well is our experiential learning program. We know that students learn best by doing. So we create lifelong learning experiences by not only learning about the real world, but learning in the real world, and importantly, learning that can have an impact on the real world. It's important that you know that arts are very crucial to us at Green School. We're a school without walls. I love to hear the music learning going on around the school, from African marimba to rock bands to traditional Indonesian and Balinese music. Visual arts, theatre arts, practical arts, they're all very important to us and they're all an important part of our program. Physical well-being is also something that we think is part of a sustainable future. Our students right now are playing soccer, football, against another school that's come to Green School. We believe that being physically well is again an important part of a learning journey, and it's something that at Green School we like to focus on. Here's something else we do really well, and that's project-based learning. You know, projects at Green School come in many different forms. Sometimes it's a whole grade completing a project that's part of a thematic unit. Sometimes it's individual students who come to our project bank, apply for a loan, and then complete their own project. We also have experiential learning units that focus on one big project for a whole term. What's really cool, and I've had my own kids go through it, is our passion projects. And that's when students complete individual projects over a longer period of time. They're capstone projects. In grade 5 they're called footprints, in grade 8 they're called quests, and in grade 12 they're called greenstones. They're opportunities for students to do something more with their learning, to think of sustainability outcomes and to have an impact with their learning. I highly recommend that you have a look again on our YouTube channel at Greenstones and Quests, because they're an amazing description of who a learner is and what they can do with their learning in a school like Green School. There are other things that have come through our learning program that are now turned into big whole community projects. Looking at our Kembali, which is our recycling centre. It started as a middle school, actually parent-driven, but middle school Jalan Jalan learning journey experience. We have a mangroves project that involves going to a mangrove, it's about an hour away, for mangroves restoration and cleaning. We have a BioBus program that is so many different aspects of the program in high school mostly. Experiential learning, like I said before, is really where we activate the learning opportunities. You know, at Green School we call it Jalan Jalan. It's in a very special time in the program. Jalan Jalan in Bahasa Indonesia sort of means journey, so this is about students going on a learning journey. And this is a time where students can focus on project-based learning, community service, entrepreneurial learning, and other outdoor activities. Often a Jalan Jalan class, a learning journey class, consists of all those components. The next slide that you'll see just shows you a big long list of the amazing Jalan Jalan experiences across our high school, middle school and high school. You can see Green Warong, which is a gardening and cooking unit. There's sailing, there's Bali Street Mums, which is a service learning community project. BioBus is in there, Bali MUN, the Model United Nations. Stand-up paddling, there's an amazing oceans-based learning program here as well. The biophilic architectural design is another awesome thing, or it could be practical and artistic in terms of jewellery making, wood carving. We also like to dive into the new tech in terms of coding, 3D printing and things like that. Social emotional learning is at the front of our mind. We do have structured social emotional lessons across the school at different times of the week. We have a focus this year called Nurturing Care, and that's a lot of discussions in our homerooms. Our values, I respect, are embedded in all classes and in all learning experiences. Sometimes it's the projects that we complete that with a service focus that allow us to demonstrate our values and to learn in a social emotional way. Sometimes it's a thematics that's based on a real world issue, for example a social justice issue that helps us develop socially emotionally. We've got an amazing mindfulness program. You missed the 2 o'clock mindfulness gong where we all as a community stop for a moment and pause. And we have so many whole community events where we learn, share and celebrate values. One of those experiences is probably one of my favourite days of the school year at Green School Bali, and I'd love to show you a video about our Peace Day celebrations, which is very much a social, emotional and a values-based learning experience brought to us from our early years learning neighbourhood, but shared by our whole community. Let's watch this video.
Happy Peace Day, everyone! 3, 2, 1, peace!
just another example of values-based learning, or just sort of that rich community-based learning that we have at Green School. You know, when you look at a school like this that's jungle-based and wall-less with beautiful bamboo buildings, lots of gardens, a river, when you hear me talk about experiential learning, the importance of that, when you hear about thematic learning and things, I've also touched on the academic learning, which is very important. You know, it's important for you to realise that we are a real international school. We've got international accreditation, we've got Indonesian accreditation. We're part of a bigger education group called Education in Motion, which includes the Dulwich International Colleges and other groups within it. The other question I get really is sort of the one that's on your screen now. How is all this reflected in the weekly program for students? Because, you know, we have schedules, we do school reports, we have behavioural issues, we have community times, we have all the things that other schools have too, but we have to be creative in terms of how that looks in terms of a weekly learning journey. So I'm just going to show you through. Now, these pictures aren't pretty, but they do illustrate the different aspects of different parts of our program. In early years, so that's our geckos, you know, 3-year-olds, geckos, starlings and kindy. You know, they have focused proficiency times, they have community projects, they have the arts in there with music, and they have PW. There's a thing in there called iHub, that's our innovation hub, and that's probably the favourite time. Oh no, maybe Green Studies is one of the favourite times for our early years students. They do cooking, they have thematics, like I've talked through. Primary school, I know the schedule changes every year and every term, and probably in every grade looks a little bit different. But it's important for you to realise that there is a mathematics program, there is a literacy program. Thematics is key for us. Scientific learning is mostly focused on in terms of the Green Studies program. They do gardening, we have lots of animals on campus. They do PW, we have different social, emotional programs in there. And you can see at the bottom of that it says Teman Teman, and that's a friendship group that works across the whole school. In middle school it probably gets a little bit more chunky, but you can see again there's science, physical well-being, social emotional, languages. We all learn Bahasa Indonesian as our foreign language here at school. Literacy, maths, thematics, they have cocoon time, which is really their homeroom time. They have I Respect clubs. They have a lot of really cool things, but you can see the similarities in traditional education, but also the differences in terms of providing students opportunities to do something with their learning that have a sustainability outcome, much more important than just passing a test. In high school, the whole program is elective. You know, we go through the normal pre-algebra, algebra 1, 2, pre-calculus and calculus. They go through all of the different scientific studies from physics, chemistry, psychology and biology. They do different sort of learning experiences too. You can see one there called tattoo art, and no, they didn't design my tattoos, but maybe they will soon. And you can see the exciting different names in terms of environmental studies, chicken coop chakup, which is one of our favourite units. They have dissection classes, which is a biology unit. You can see again that you can do real good, rigorous academic learning, mathematics, science and literacy, but you can also move outside of that and be creative in the way that we design our learning experiences. Look, that's just a snapshot, but I hope it's provided you some clarity to the structure and the content of the Green School curriculum. There are many more resources available to you, and I highly suggest that you give it your full scope of learning. Dive into our website, dive into the videos on YouTube. We need you to understand our learning program before you make a decision. We know that we've created something pretty special here, and we hope that could be special for you. We know that we've created a model that's educating for a sustainable future. Thanks for giving me this time. I hope I haven't bored you too much with curriculum speak, but it's important again that you understand the type of learning program that's available here. Well, I'm happy to answer questions at the end of this in the Q&A time, but that's probably about enough from me. Kate.
Sal, so brilliant. What a big kind of bundle of information Sal has put together for you this afternoon. So I'm sure you learned a lot, and probably it has prompted a few questions from you as well. So please do put those in the chat. So we're all about the learning here, but we're also about the environment, and we're about, well, those two go together actually, and we're about the community at Green School too. And I am really excited to be able to invite 2 new parents to the Green School community. They just started just 4 weeks ago at the beginning of this school year. So brand new family, part of our new Green School big extended tribe here, and they're going to be joining us for for the Q&A part. So they will be here to answer your questions as well through the lens of a new family. Before we go to that, Sal and I have also put together for you a little tour of the campus. So this is really just the highlights tour. The campus is big, it is beautiful, it's wild. It has amazing sort of wilderness and ecosystems within the bigger ecosystem, and also a lot of different systems and solutions that have been developed by the students and teachers here over the years. So it's all about us being good stewards of the land here on our campus and further beyond as our children get older and go out and about. So we are going to throw to that in just a minute. So that's the Green School Campus Highlights Tour for you. And then on the other side of that, I will be welcoming 2 Green School parents to join us for the live Q&A part. So stay tuned for that piece, and we will see you on the other side of these videos.
Hi, I've made my way to the 3rd floor of the heart of school. The heart of school is our middle school learning neighbourhood. I'm in a typical bamboo green school classroom, because you can see there is no walls. All of our classrooms are surrounded by gardens which our students play and learn in. We also have an amazing, beautiful river that's running really loud just down the hill, our solar farms, the iHub, the music centres, art centres, everything here is amazing and provides probably that structural, that physical campus that we know that at Green School Bali helps us bring a learning program to life. Our students are provided the opportunities to not just learn about nature, but learn in nature. We have 4 learning neighbourhoods. Our youngest learners, the early years, up to kindergarten. Primary school, from grades 1 to 5. Middle school, grades 6, 7 and 8. And high school, grades 9 to 12. At Green School, our learning is for now, not for later. It needs to be fun, but it needs to be meaningful. And that looks different in each learning neighbourhood. Our early years program is nature and play-based. Yes, students start to develop literacy and numeracy skills, but it's more important for our youngest learners to develop a connection with nature and a connection with their peers and a connection with their learning. In primary school, our students begin to learn who they are. They discover themselves, and our learning program allows that to happen. It makes that happen. And big projects, little projects, projects in the garden. Also strong thematics program connected to nature and sustainability. In middle school learning can become a little bit messy. Our middle school program is set up to allow students to elect certain parts of their learning program. So they have strong literacy and maths classes. They also have an amazing thematics program based on the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Our grade 8 students at the end of middle school do a capstone project which is based on their own sustainability passion project. In high school, our students are ready to make an impact in the world. Our program allows students to develop the life skills required and the mindsets needed to take action and to use their learning. High school students do a lot of projects. Their culminating project, their Greenstone, is an amazing year-long learning journey where students choose a sustainability-based project and bring that project to life.
This is one of my favourite places on the campus. We're right down here by the river. Behind me is the Ayung, the Great Ayung River, and it powers right through our campus. It's a force of nature. It's also a source of energy. Right here down at the river, we have our very own microhydro system, the Green School Vortex. And this vortex provides a majority of the power that we use here on the campus, and it forms part of Operation Rain or Shine. So along with our other renewable energy systems, we try and offer a range of different learning opportunities for our children to see all the different ways Mother Nature can help power our campus, our community and the world. Clean, renewable and reliable energy. I'm here on the top floor of the heart of school, and this is home base for our middle schoolers. And you can see behind me here some of our renewable energy technologies. We really love the idea at Green School that the whole campus is a classroom, the whole campus is a laboratory, and that we can innovate and we can find solutions to real problems right here on the campus. This solar system here is part of Operation Rain or Shine, which was a high school-led initiative that's ongoing, looking at understanding and implementing different types of clean, reliable, renewable energy right here on our campus. Everyone in our community has a part to play in making our world sustainable, starting right here on the campus. We have in our main car park our waste recycling centre, so all families can bring their recyclables there, sorted, to be responsibly moved on to recyclers on the island. But the very best of that trash we keep right here on the campus because this is a resource for learning. So in this area here in our Community Innovation Hub is Kambali. And in Kambali we have resources here that can be used. So some of these products can be used raw for projects here on the campus that the students are involved in. But we also have some really cool equipment in here. So we can take certain types of plastics and they can be processed into filament like this that can be further processed into a form that we can put into molds. So you can literally bring in some plastic trash and leave with a plate or a fork or a bowl or something useful. We've even had kids make recycled surfboard fins, which are really expensive here. So very cool product, limited only to the imagination. Here we are at the Human Resources Centre, otherwise known as the toilets. This is one example of our composting toilet system that we have at Green School. Composting toilets don't need to be nasty. We have a fantastic odourless, waterless, chemical-free system that takes human waste and turns it into organic matter that can go back into the earth in a really safe way. These toilets are really beautiful. Our parents helped design these structures. So they're super friendly, they're actually a work of art and really inviting even for the tiniest of people. That's our take on composting toilets at Green School. Just pulling up in the garage, friends. We ride in style and sustainably at Green School. Our Biobus transport service normally operates 5 days a week, taking our children to school and back home again in the afternoons. Our Biobuses run on used cooking oil, which the students are involved in collecting from hotels and restaurants around Bali. So it helps them dispose of used cooking oil in a responsible way, and it powers our buses. I'm not actually allowed to drive the Biobus, but I am allowed to use this. So for any families who don't ride the Biobus and have a diesel vehicle, they can fill their car up right here on the campus at the biodiesel pump station. As well as the biodiesel bus service and the pump station in the car park to fill up your diesel vehicle, we also have electric charge stations here on the campus. So electric motorbikes are a growing option for transport around Bali, and you can plug in right here. We're entering primary school, and in primary school every class has their own set of gardens that they work with. In the upper school the students work with more cooperative gardens and working with permaculture principles to grow things that are beautiful but also that are edible and medicinal. And right here in primary at a grade 1 classroom, we can see in the garden here we've got corn, we've got papaya, we've got bananas, we've got flowers bringing the bees and the butterflies, and of course always so quintessentially Bali, the lemongrass. Our campus is wild. It's intentionally rugged. We design it this way. This is great for kids, gross motor skills, but also their cognitive development. So everything is designed by intention, but we work with what is already here. On my left here, you can see these beautiful springs. This is where we hold special ceremonies during the year. It's quite a sacred place on the campus. It's really calm and very peaceful. On my right, in contrast, this pit of mud comes to life because this is the Green School Mud Pit. It's a really popular place on the campus. So yes, our children get in here. It's like baby elephants on a hot day, cooling down in the mud and the water. Also, while I'm here, over there is Grasshopper Grove. This was named by our early years students because this is a great place to go if you want to find grasshoppers, dragonflies and butterflies. No two buildings on the Green School campus are the same. Every single one of them is unique. Every single one of them is also a work of art. We're here in the Green School Yoga Studio. This beautiful space comes to life when the children come in here for yoga sessions.
Nothing is more beautiful than stopping in here and watching the 3-year-olds take yoga. It is pure joy. It's a beautiful space. I can hear the river behind me here. There's a gentle breeze coming through here. It's a very, very serene and special place on our campus. When we think about well-being at Green School, we think about the whole person, the social, the emotional, and of course the physical, and not just the individual child or the individual community member, but the whole community. This behind me is the Ark. This is our community centre and our sports centre. So what goes on in here? This is a place that we gather that holds us for recreation, for presentations, and for celebrations. This is the Ark.
Hey friends, and welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us because this is the best part of the session. This is the live Q&A part, and Sal and myself are really, really excited to welcome to the Bamboo Settee some brand new friends of ours and new members of the Green School community. So we have Christine and Casper here joining us.
Hello.
To give you the real insights through the eyes of not only parents of Green School, but brand new shiny parents at Green School who have just arrived very recently. So Christine and Casper, can I invite you to introduce yourselves, maybe where you're from and who's in your family?
Yeah, hi. I'm Christine. I'm American, and we have our son Jagger, who started here. He's 8 years old. He's in grade 3. We moved over via London and Spain to Bali this summer and just started school a few weeks ago.
Yeah, my name's Casper. I'm from London. I'm married to Christine. We have 2 kids, Christine said. And yeah, we've just arrived. We were in Ibiza for 3 years before then. Jagger was an international school, but very different type of school. So it's a very new environment for him. And our youngest kids just started at a different school in Canggu, not too far away from here.
Yeah, so brilliant. Well, thank you so much. It's really great to have you here. And the way we'll approach this, folks, please keep the questions coming. They are coming through to me here, and I get to hold the golden ticket.
It's like
all
being
the
in the hot seat. This is like being, get ready, this is like being in the hot seat. We're going to throw
Far
some
away,
sticky
far
questions. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go,
we
Kate.
like, no question is too big
That's
or too
right.
small. We will
Yeah.
give it a red hot go either way. And so my job is to really invite everyone here to share the combined collective knowledge and know-how of Green School for your benefit. So we're going to kick right off with a question from Daniel. Thank you so much, which is really about children for whom English might not be their first language and would like to join Green School but perhaps aren't fluent or sufficiently fluent to go into the mainstream program. Sal, I think this is for you.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for the question. It's important because, we're a school of 52 different nationalities at the moment, and we want to be as diverse and inclusive as possible. We're, being honest, we're an international school that's instruction in our English language. Our foreign language program is Bahasa Indonesian. We don't have a massive foreign language program, but for students that are coming to us at ELL, English language learning, might be a challenge. We do have it's standalone program called the Green School English program that's based in the primary school learning neighbourhood, and it's really for primary school age students. We run semester programs there, and the aim is to provide functional English learning opportunities, but in a Green School way, allow students in those classes to connect to their age groups and do physical wellbeing, green studies, arts with the other primary school grades, but really spend a bit more focused time on English language learning. The aim of that program is to bring those students through 6 months of an English language program and then into our Green School Bali primary school program.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Sal. Also, our Green Camp, which is part of the Green School family, also runs some Green School English camp programs, which can be accessed in the lead up to the beginning of the school year for children that just need a little bit more kind of elevation on their English language proficiency before starting. But the best thing is to get in touch with the admissions team and let them know where you're at if you're interested in finding out more about those programs. As we go through the session today, if there are questions specifically about about the admissions process, Christina, who introduced the segment this afternoon or today, will be revisiting you before we wrap up, just to give you some information about the process, so timing and what the application process looks like. So we'll circle back to that. So there's a question here about school lunch, which is one of my favourite topics, actually. It's a favourite topic in almost every school, in fact, school lunch. So let me just quickly tell you how we approach what we eat at Green School. Number one, we love to know where our food comes from. So you will see here on the campus there are productive gardens everywhere. There are also animals on our campus. That's all part of the learning. But what we eat is via a set of principles, and that is that we eat local. So no imported products, we eat seasonal, organic wherever possible, ethically sourced and cruelty-free ingredients and produce. So that means that any animal product here is usually in smallish kind of quantities, and there are always lots of vegetarian options, but there are also some options that have animal product in them as well. So I could talk all day about school lunch, but we'll keep it moving. If we have time, we might come back to it at the end.
The food is excellent, though, I have to say.
There we go.
I haven't been paid to say that.
There we
go. The food is fantastic.
Casper.
We've sampled it, yeah.
Some of our food that our students eat, like going beyond the traditional school canteen, is actually prepared as part of the learning program by students. So they're not only gardening, planting, harvesting food, but they're taking that from the gardens and creating a business model around it, where there's restaurant managers, sous chefs, head chefs, marketing people. And so some of the food that our students eat is actually part of our learning program too, which is pretty cool.
So true. So most of our students across the school would have the choice between 2 or 3 different vendors to select school lunch from, and parents can pre-order, and the older children can buy over the counter as well. And particularly for the younger children, we have a sort of specialised menu that is served in a way where the watermelon cannot touch the rice, which cannot touch the whatever, because we know all these things are really important for our younger eaters.
Making me hungry. Sorry, making me hungry. All this talk about food. Yeah.
We should have bought some snacks.
Yeah, okay. I can wait.
I want to jump to a question which is really about living in Bali. So the question is about where people live and what sort of houses do they live in. Do we all live in bamboo houses and so on? As like brand new arrivals to Bali, we know that process of finding a place to land and making a home is really important and is not always an easy process. And maybe you can share with us how that unfolded for you.
Yeah, well, we came over last year, February, before we had our application in, and we knew that we were definitely going to be able to join the Green School, and we just preliminarily had a look at houses and got actually quite lucky in looking at a few places, just figuring out we wanted to be a little bit closer to the beach. So there are generally areas families live in, which is closer to the Green School, up around Ubud, or closer to the Canggu area for a lot of families, Pararanan, Canggu, Babakan, Umalas, and we're in that Canggu area because we wanted to be close to the beach. It's still pretty accessible to school, a 30-minute drive. We didn't really want a longer commute for our son and for us. So I think that process is also really well facilitated by other school members. Mikey, who is available, I think, on any of the virtual call we did after we joined. So there's kind of not really in-house, but sort of in-house parents who are in real estate who are able to help guide with finding a villa, help you. She'll look through contracts for you and tell you what to look out for, because it's a challenge. It's a totally different country. There are different sort of ways of doing things. A lot of houses come with villa staff, which is something we were not used to. Something very welcome to us and our family, but something that is kind of new. So just figuring out those sort of ins and outs of that it's nice to have the backup of people who have been here and done that, and also really helpful members on these community chats. Once you get into the school, you'll join the community chat for whatever area you're living in, or even if you're not sure, we have other new family friends that we've made that are in the Ubud chat and the Canggu chat that are Airbnb-ing for the moment while they still look to settle in their permanent home. So there's lots of different ways of kind of landing.
And where that's quite unsettling, going from Airbnb to Airbnb, I have spoken to a few people that actually really enjoyed it, because it's a great way of getting to know the area as Christine was saying, people tend to live in Ubud or Canggu or here closer to the Green School, and perhaps you can try all three. Airbnb here is quite an easy and functional system, so that's a nice option, I think. If you don't land on your feet with the right villa, I don't think you have to rush it. We got lucky, but I think you can take a fair amount of time and find your footing.
Yeah, that's great advice, great practical advice. Thanks so much. And I think, Christine, that really speaks to the kind of the Great Green School Hive, which is the existing sort of parent community here, who are here, to support new families to settle in. And so just getting new families plugged into that makes everything a lot easier, and including for the school, because we can't help everyone find a house, but what we can do is just create spaces and opportunities for parents to connect with each other. And as you say, there is always a group of people in the community that have particular expertise and are happy to help with that. So good one. All right, let's dive into a question that is more again about the learning program. And Sal, I think this one's for you, from Jessica. Thank you, Jessica, which is around our curriculum. And which international curriculum is the Green School curriculum closest to? Which I don't think we've ever had that question. It's a good one, thank you. IB, AP, are there benchmarks and assessments?
There's definitely benchmarks and assessments. Our whole curriculum has what's called scope and sequence, so a scope and then a sequence of learning outcomes that look very similar to nearly any international or even my home country Australian curriculum. I would say it's probably more like the way that the IB program is evolving in terms of providing opportunities for extra learning, community-based learning, service-based learning, project-based learning. Our students in high school, if they choose, can do the APs. They can study them within the school and then take their external exams. They can do their SATs as well. What we did probably 10 years ago when I joined is when we brought a whole heap of curriculum creators together into the teaching team was to look at what was working in Finland, in Australia, in Ontario, and look at different types of curriculum and go, well, look, this fits here. And it's actually, the school has actually tried to be a Cambridge, a UK-based Cambridge IGCSE school, and it didn't work. We weren't able to access the potential of the campus and the potential of what we wanted education to be. So yes, benchmarks, yes, assessments. Assessment looks different for us. We probably look at more a holistic evidencing of learning, but then again in the high school, if you're doing an AP class, you're going to do an exam at the end of it. In high school, you'll start to get grades if you choose. Most of them do choose to get grades, but across middle school down through primary school and early years, we're not giving students A's, B's and C's for their learning. We have different holistic, real-time, varied modes of looking for evidence of learning that is really student-centred in a way, but provides students the opportunity to demonstrate their learning in their own way. And what's most important, I think, for a school of the future, it needs to be student-centred. We don't want to put students in a box. We're not going to put learning in a box. We're not going to say every student has to learn this information across this journey and be assessed in the one way. We're not going to do that. However, in the high school, if we're going to look for opportunities for students beyond Green School Bali and look at getting into universities, which our students do, we do need to be open to more formal external types of learning like the AP. It's a pretty long-winded question, but we've been able to design something that's accredited now by WASC, which is an American schools accreditation. We've got accreditation within the Indonesian international school community as well, which is actually quite difficult. And like I said earlier, we're part of an Education in Motion group where other educators and other leaders from those schools have been in international education for a long time, from Dulwich College, Singapore, Dulwich College, around Southeast Asia have come here and sort of audited our program, so we think it's pretty strong.
Super good. Thank you, Sal, so much. My own son, who's in grade 12, sat SAT exams 2 Saturdays ago because that is important to his pathway that he wants to take beyond Green School, and he was given some support for that to help prepare for that exam. But I love that we don't run our classes up to exams for things. We don't teach to exams, so it gives so many more opportunities for the students.
It's pretty hard to do an exam on empathy. We can all develop values better, and sometimes when you're looking at skill-based learning, it's just really about providing opportunities to demonstrate a skill, not knowing that we're never really 100%, like me right now, 100% in a skill. I'm probably at about 65% in terms of the skill of communication right now.
Work in progress?
Work in progress. We're all works in progress.
As we speak, work in progress. And I think that's great, and it's a really good question to ask because, you know, there are so many schools available out there in the world offering different things, including obviously IB schools and so on, which provide a system where you can move around within the international schools and you know what you're going to from one thing to the next. So these are great questions and really important for families to ask so you can really help decide what you really want for your child and what is best. And I'm wondering whether you guys have any perspective on that. You've come from an international school to the Green School, which is our own unique curriculum. How do you feel about that? It's a common question people ask.
It was my first, funnily enough, I met you. You came and joined. We did a tour, which if you're able to come to Bali before term starts, you're interested in the Green School. I found the tours really fruitful, actually. We really enjoyed it. We learned a great amount about the school and its ideas of education. But my first question was how if someone wants to go into further education, how is that possible when you're not stemmed from a natural, A-levels, IB, etc. And I was amazed by how many people had gone to college, very good colleges and universities, if that's the path that your child wishes to take. And how many universities and colleges accept that some schools have a different viewpoint in education and it's just as fruitful as the more conservative or more mainstream forms of education. And yeah, it's, to have the best of both worlds, to have this open form of education, but still be able to go through those channels if you so wish, means that the whole world's open to you.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a no-brainer. Jagger our oldest son had been to school in Spain, but it was the English system, which for me was quite backdated and it hasn't changed much since the 1950s. So to see this and to see that you can still go into any form of education if you want was marvellous.
Yeah, thanks for that, Casper. There's actually a question in here, and we might just go to it now, around graduates and where they go. And the team, I'm sure, as I'm speaking, are putting a link in the chat there for you to take you to our alumni page on our website, where you can see some alumni stories and the different destinations around the world where they are. But I know it's quite common. People ask the question about universities as a metric in some senses. We love to celebrate all the different pathways because some of our most outstanding graduates actually haven't gone to university or not yet because they wanted to start a foundation or a business and they've just gotten moving on that. So including one that got offered a scholarship to a very, very prestigious school, and she said, no, thank you. I'm very busy right now. I might take it later. Thank you. So I think
it's
like
123 universities our students have gone to. We've had 8 graduating classes. Last year there were 19 grade 12, 17 of them went straight to university.
And didn't you mention that some, I think when we first met, you mentioned that some universities they don't necessarily want exams when they'll look at coursework, etc. They'll make an exception to schools like this.
So true.
Some universities are knocking on our door now.
Right.
So rather than university shopping, we've got universities coming. We've got 50 universities coming to campus next week. Next week for a university fair. So, the world of education is changing. I think universities starting to catch up to it as well, which is good.
I think so too. And sometimes they really love what they see in some of our students, but they need that box ticked. They need a score, a test result of some kind, and we can help facilitate that process. But, please ask questions if you've got particular questions about the high school program. It's really about what the students want to put in is what they will get out of the high school program in a lot of ways. Totally is. And then they really stand out from the pack. All right, let's keep moving. So we have a question here, which is a nice quick one. Thank you, Deeks, Yaz and Tim. How do we cater for kids who might arrive from a different school calendar? So yes, we can do that. We do take children. I'm from Australia myself, so my children had to go either forward half a year or back half a year to sync in with the school year here, which starts in August to December is semester 1, and then January to June is semester 2. But we usually have 2 intakes per year for student enrolment. Our larger intake is in August, and then often there are some places open for a January start as well. So our admissions team can help you more with the details on that. Okay, anyone can answer this one if they know the answer. Any piano teachers nearby?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure.
Any
I'd like
insights
one.
on that?
No,
You'd like one,
no,
though?
we would like one though.
Yeah. I'll
get on
find
to
you
that.
one.
Okay.
We'll get on to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, we can talk a little bit about kind of extracurricular activities or our after school program. Is Jagger doing something today?
He is. He's in chess club today. He's in 3 after-school programs that he was very excited about. The AI and coding, as well as a cooking club, going back to your food on campus. He was really excited to join that. And chess today. There are also a huge array of other activities and sports, and it's just a matter of picking and which one you can slot into. So aside from what the school offers, we've also found in the greater community at large, depending also on where you live, there are tons of opportunities for after-school activities around the island, which is something that we were lacking in the last island we lived in. It was quite limited. So to have this kind of world is our oyster open up for us in Bali has been really wonderful.
And if you join us, you will discover the magic of the great WhatsApp groups that the Green School community has, class by class, but also just depending where you live, you can join your local Green School neighbourhood WhatsApp group. And I don't think I've ever seen a question asked on that group that has not been answered. So the question of the piano teacher would just simply need to be asked.
100%. Ask that question. Yeah.
They get answered multiple times.
Yeah,
Multiple
we'll
times.
find you a piano teacher. I'll find you one in a couple of minutes.
Exactly.
I think I did just see somebody ask about an upright piano they were looking for
They did
on
ask
that
for an
chat.
upright piano.
Yeah,
You're
right,
right.
upright piano. Yeah.
So I'm sure
So I
there will
just
be a
want to
teacher
check.
attached.
So Jagger in his after-school activities
Yes.
is doing AI and coding, cooking and chess.
And chess.
That's quite the combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
And
Love
he's
that for
doing
him.
tennis outside of school on
Tennis
another
outside
day
of
of the
school,
week.
yeah.
Okay.
So
He's
you've got a
going.
very tired child at the end of the day.
You
Let's
think
hope.
so?
Let's
But
hope.
But it just doesn't run out
he
of
doesn't want to go to bed, but there we go. Yeah.
Good luck with that
Okay,
then.
here we go. Next question. What happens during rainy season? Can lessons still continue?
Oh yeah, for sure. It gets a bit loud. Right now, how's the weather right now? It's paradise,
It's amazing.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
even that hot. It's
Yeah.
just perfect.
It doesn't actually get that hot in Bali, so that's something that people that haven't been here before, it basically maxes out at 32 degrees for the whole year, and sometimes it does rain. The campus is jungle. We don't have covered walkways. We seem to manage. I've been here, this is my 10th year. We've had some big wet seasons. Some of our pathways turn into mini rivers. We've done a lot of work in terms of water catchment and how we can use that in our learning program as well. School definitely goes on in the wet season. Classes still go on. Gets a little bit noisy, and sometimes we just get a little bit wet, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, the nice thing is it's just always warm. So even when it rains, as long as there's no thunder, I think the kids actually quite enjoy that. Yeah. And our sport field turns into
into a lake,
a mud fest lake, and that's all a lot of fun. So thank you for asking that question. It's a question here about if there are any workshops in the school for external children, and yes is the answer to that. We have our Green Camp program. So Green Camp is part of the Green School family, and I'm sure the team are putting a link in the chat. You can hop over to the Green Camp website and see all the different programs. So they run camps for school groups during school term, so school groups from all around the world that come here for camp programs, and then during the holidays, family and children's camps. So that's an opportunity to come and have a Green School type experience, but in a camp program. So check out all that Green Camp have to offer. Sal, I'll throw back to you on this one from Naveen. And it's just a question about whether someone will ask, I think I understand this question, if somebody is applying to Green School, is there a requirement to specify the pronouns they use?
No. We'd like you to specify the pronoun that you'd like to use.
Yes.
We're totally inclusive, 100% inclusive, just from here. 100% it is up to the individual.
Yep. Thank you, Sal.
Yeah, 100%.
Good. Nice and clear.
Yeah.
And then the question again from Naveen, I think we've answered it or given some more information redirection, which is around admission to top universities for graduates. And as I said, we don't ever take that as the only measure of success for our graduates, because that would only tell part of the story of what our graduates are doing in the world. But the answer to that is yes, and I think you can find out more on our alumni page.
On your alumni page, but also check out some Greenstones. If you really want to see what a learner who a learner is after completing our high school program. You need to enrol for 2 years for grade 11 and 12. If you really want to see who a learner is and what they can do with their learning, YouTube Greenstones and they will amaze you. I remember I graduated out of school with a number, and I think I spent the next 4 years at university wondering what I was going to do, and then I spent the next 10 years on a gap decade trying to figure out who I was and what service I was going to do. I can see students 10 years ahead of me where I was when I graduated out of a school. So yeah, check out the Greenstones, they'll blow your mind.
I think our latest batch of Greenstones, our graduates from 2023, their final capstone presentations, which is like a TED-style talk, are about to be published any minute soon. So you'll be able to see those very soon. All right, we have a question here about sports. What sports do we have on offer? But maybe we'll go over to our parents first and just ask about that. Again, having moved from another school, I think Sal and I often talk about the fact that we're not the sort of school that is out there at the front saying it's all about sport at Green School. That's not our kind of big flag-bearing sort of statement. But we do love our sport and we love being healthy and fit and active. Do you want to share your take on sport? Is Jagger into sports?
Jagger is not sort of a team sport guy. That's why he's doing tennis. He's a one-on-one sort of guy. But having said that, we were all very impressed when we toured the school with the ARC, the gymnasium, which I know hosts a lot of basketball. There was football happening in the field when we got here. What we were also impressed with is the inter-school sport activities that happens. We also did not have that at our previous school, where the Green School will play other local schools from around the island and in tournaments and just regular matches. So that's something that's newer for us and really positive. So
I didn't expect that on an island to have that inter-school system. And I think, if I'm right, since we're sort of now back to pre-corona inter-school sports, which is fantastic. Not just for those playing, I think for those supporting. It's it's camaraderie and
we're the Green School Garudas, and the Garuda is a mythical Indonesian creature. We start off the year playing football, and then it moves to volleyball, and then basketball, and term 4 is athletics and swimming and cross country. And so we do that inside our school, inside the physical wellbeing program, so there's structured learning opportunities, but also after school practice and then after school games against the other schools on the island. It's a fun way to connect. Sports is also a fun way to learn different types of things, and team sports, having a different coach that's not your teacher, it's a cool thing about Green School that we're able to offer that.
And not just for the students, sorry to interrupt, but the nice thing that we found as parents, obviously we can't not mention, the Bridge, which is the parents' hub, but there are also a wealth of activities on offer for the parents. I did yoga in the Yoga Shala this week, which is just absolutely stunning. Like the dream of a Bali Yoga Shala on school campus. There's Zumba classes, there's basketball being organised.
There's a mountain biking club, there's a sailing club.
There's wild fitness, and I think Balinese dance. So there's loads on offer.
That's just for the parents.
Just for the parents.
I've never felt anything like this as included as part of the process of how the school functions. As a parent, you are part of it, whereas other schools we've been to, our child's been to, you drop them off and you collect them and you may say hi to a couple of people, but here you really are part of it, which is unique to me.
Yeah, well remember, we're a community of learners making our world sustainable, and that means that the learning isn't just happening in classrooms between students and teachers. Nearly every parent that comes here says, I wish I had to come to a school like this. Well, guess what? You have. You are at a school like this, and you can be a learner, and you can do sports and clubs, and I think that's what we want schools to be.
Yeah, and the role of parents as partners in their child's education too is a really important piece, and so that's often most successful where we've built good relationships between each other and as a community. So doing our best to try and make sure the learning is as visible as possible for parents to feel like they can access and understand what's going on with their child as best we can, and then creating that experience for parents as well. So you mentioned the Bridge, Christine, and the Bridge we refer to that as Green School for the grown-ups, and it has its own programs for parents, often run by parents for parents. So it's not only a chance to come and join a fitness class or a cycling group, or to come and listen to a talk or a workshop, but you can also offer something in that space too. So I'm waiting. You guys feel free to offer up the chess club. Casper,
Right,
I'm
yeah,
thinking, yes,
absolutely.
let's get it going.
Yeah. Why not, actually?
Why
Adults
not?
Chess Club.
Why not?
Adults
Sign
Chess
me
Club.
up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I'm
Adults v kids. Well, I think we'd lose out there.
Oh, we'd lose out.
Yeah.
All right, I have a question here from Joanna. Sal, this is for you, which is specifically about the phonics system. So in primary school, so she's used a few examples of different phonics systems in the UK that I think Joanna is connected to, but maybe we can talk more broadly about literacy with our younger students.
Yeah, definitely. Phonics program runs across, really starting in our earliest program. It starts to get a little bit more serious in kindergarten, which is the final year of early years, and then running mostly across. Phonics is a way of learning, is literacy learning. There's probably a new head of lower school. I wish Viva Victoria was here right now, but she's a phonics expert and has been a consultant on delivering phonics-based education before coming back to Green School. It's really, I don't think you find much different between other international curricula that focus on listening, speaking, reading, writing, communicating in those ways. It's different for us, I think. Kids are coming here from a lot of different types of school systems, different ages, different times, different challenges, different strengths. So I suppose we try to make it more individualised for the students. Sometimes, we've got students in grade 1 that are great readers and writers, and sometimes it hasn't been a focus for them. So trying to be more individual, but also understanding that there are pretty standard types of learning experiences to be literate in terms of that reading, writing, speaking, communicating. Yeah.
Nice, thank you. Thanks, Sal. Another question around holiday camps, which I think I answered, and you can probably scroll back in the chat to get that Green Camp link if you want to check out what they've got to offer. Now, this is a great question, and thank you. I think it's Katya has asked this question around being an international school and the efforts to integrate into the community, trying to ensure that we're not in a kind of international school bubble, which is, I think, to start with, like ongoing hard work and good work that the school needs to continue to do. It's never done, and we've made mistakes along the way, I think it's fair to say. But maybe we can share a little bit about what goes on, and perhaps you can share that experience. You've been in other international schools. I myself had as well, and really felt that sense of being in a very privileged bubble. And yeah, what's your experience of that at Green School and in Bali?
Well, I think the beautiful thing about the Green School, in the people that we've met and the talks that we've been part of, I don't know if you've mentioned the Cool Connection yet, but that's I think a key part of what the Green School has created for the community. So there's a literal bridge that goes over the river, but it's also sort of a figurative and symbolic bridge where the community not only goes, the Green School students can go out into the community to help bring in the outside students from the neighborhood. They come in on an after-school program. I just joined yesterday for the first time, and it was just spectacular to see students from, I think there's 64 feeder schools around the area that come in and participate so to learn English, to do maybe cultural exchanges. So there are things that the school facilitates, but the school also hosts, during your orientation week, an array of events where you'll see Kate again and again and again helping us, guide us on sort of, how to integrate in your life into Bali, and what sort of, not necessarily what to expect, but how to respect, to really feel that you're not just the outsider coming in, but tips on what you can do to be a little bit more of a local.
Yeah, I think that's the opportunity. It's such a, my assessment, it's such a beautifully open culture here, and so we come with that humility and remind each other to stay humble and be open to those learning experiences, even when sometimes they're a little bit challenging. But there is so much wisdom we can gain from living here, so much learning, and many opportunities for us to contribute and give back while we're here as well.
Just on that point, I also don't feel that it's a bubble as the the other international school that we were at, which was, in all intents and purposes, an international school, because there's so many Indonesian children here, which is not what I expected, which I really love. I don't know what the percentage is, but there's a lot of local children in the school enrolled, isn't there?
Yeah. There's local Indonesians that are part of just the normal enrolment admissions, but we do have a local scholars program. There's 32 students in there, and they're on full scholarship. They're probably they're the heart and soul of our student community. I think a lot of them stay with us throughout their learning journey. A grade 12 last year's full scholarship to an American college after being here at Green School for a whole time. There's a cool connection, which is now I think 150 students. There's those 32 other local scholar students. We're not an international school in a bubble, a bamboo bubble. We connect in every way possible, whether it's functionally in things that happen in our community, in terms of taking our learning program into other schools. We've done a lot of that. A lot of our sustainability projects are replicated in other schools and other parts of the community around here. The impact that we can have as an international school is so much greater when you don't have walls, when you think that, well, what can we do with our learning here more than just keep it inside an international community. I speak pretty fluent Bahasa Indonesian and my Bahasa Bali, which is an old language, my Bahasa Bali's okay as well, but by far it's after 10 years here and after the experiences I've had as a professional and a father here, I think probably one of the best things that I've had in terms of being in Bali for 10 years is that connection to Indonesia and Bali people, by far.
Yeah, it's incredible. It really is.
Yeah, it's a blessing. And so we can't take away the privilege that we've got of being international visitors in a community at an international school. You can't take privilege away, but you can do something with it. That's the most important thing. And I think Green School Bali actively does something with its privilege in terms of connecting to the local community.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and work in progress. Amazing
Always.
you've joined the Cool Connection. That's KKC or KKC after school program for children who aren't enrolled in the school but to come and use the school. It's always part of the vision of the founders, John and Cynthia Hardy, that this is a place where the gates stay open. We don't shut them only to the people that are enrolled here, and that it's a place that Balinese, Indonesian and children from all around the world come to learn for the environment. So trying to stay true to the mission.
We also had the opportunity to showcase the school in terms of bigger picture Indonesia. We had the Indonesian International Schools Conference here over the holidays, and so we had 200-300 people here from all the other international schools in Indonesia here, and so sharing our model with them. The theme was inclusivity, sharing about sustainability education. We've got an amazing Green Educator course program, which I play an active role in, and that has a lot of Indonesian schools and Indonesian teachers learning with us from our experience. That's in person and online. So we just don't want to stop talking about how we can connect and how the impact can be much more than just something that happens in a classroom.
So true. I'm giving Sal the wrap-up signal
the
there. You didn't see it.
Yeah. And I'm like, but this is really important.
Really,
it's really important
yes,
to me too.
And Sally is, and we all are really passionate about this area. I'm going to move on because we don't have much time left, and we do need to save some space for Christina at the end to give you all the hot tips on the admissions process. Plus, also ask you to fill out the survey. We will put a link there at the end to the survey to give us some feedback. We are very resilient. We've got very broad shoulders here, and we do need your feedback. So
yes, please.
We continue to try and make these sessions as impactful as they can be for you. So please share some feedback. So this is now, I'm moving to rapid fire here with these questions, okay? We're going to see how we go with short answers. All right. Sal, I know he could really talk for a long time on this. Okay, I'm going to ask him to keep it short. What languages are taught at Green School Bali?
Bahasa Indonesian is the formal language, foreign language that we speak. Again, it just elevates your experience here. With 52 different countries, it's quite difficult to provide a foreign language program that includes all of the languages that people have. We do have after-school activities, lunch, language clubs. We've got a high school class that's called the Language Lab. You can study any language you like in there. But in the reality is, in authenticity and honesty and quickness, our foreign language program is Bahasa Indonesian. We can work out other things.
Okay, thank you, Sal. I'm going to throw to my left here with this question.
quick,
This is
yeah.
a trick question. Not trick,
question.
tricky question from Jessica. Imagine you have 3 kids in 3 different schools in Bali and you live in Canggu and one of your children goes to green school. Is it doable?
Yes, absolutely. We have 2 kids. One of them goes to green school. Our younger son goes to a nursery closer to where we live in Canggu. There is a bio bus that runs, so depending on the ages of your children, I believe 8 years, 9 years and up, grade 4 and up can ride the bio bus unaccompanied. So you can live close to a bio bus. That's one option, getting your kids to school. There are drivers available, which many families use. We have a driver that helps to take our son to school and back. And of course, you can get scooter lessons if you don't know how already. I've taken scooter lessons myself. I'm not quite sure I'm ready to take my son on it to school, but there are lots of options for transport to get your kids around. So just
And
depending
carpooling as well with the drivers.
yeah, carpooling, if you get onto your green school grade chats and your community group chats, there's a lot of talk amongst parents about carpooling if you live close enough.
Well, actually, breaking news, you heard it here first. There is a green school carpooling app in development. So a
Very
parent
good.
is actually co-teaching with a teacher in high school. They are coding and designing a green school carpool app. So stay tuned. We've got you covered, folks. We are on it. Sal, what is a good entry point for a child? Are there any grades that may be better suited for a child to start at green school?
Anywhere. My kids started in early years. No, there is no.
Okay, next question. How many times a semester would you go on a field trip? Does a field trip include a field trip right here on the campus? Because this thing's massive.
Daily. It depends on the age. Middle school and high school students probably have more opportunity to get out of campus, but there are different activities. It really does. It could be weekly. It could be more than once a week. Again, varies. Lots of experiential outside learning, not just outside the classroom, but outside in the local village and beyond. Beaches, mountains, the rice fields. Our high school kids go on service learning trips to other islands in Indonesia. That is not a great answer, but it's there's no one answer for that
You've
one.
already been on an adult field trip for
I
the
was
school.
going to add that.
Yeah,
There's the parent field trips
Parent
too.
field
yeah.
trips as
The
well.
rice.
To the rice field.
Ashtangarwe. My son actually told me yesterday during Green Studies, they went across the bridge up to Bamboo Ibuku, I think. They went to visit the bamboo factory. So that's just a field trip in and of itself. It's just, the school grounds are a field trip every day.
Great. All right. Great question here from Peter about the average tenure of a child at green school. And just to answer that quickly, 1 year is the minimum enrolment period. The only exceptions to that are early years. If we have space, we may take a 1 semester enrolment. And grade 11 and 12 is our diploma program. And kids can't join at grade 12. You need to lock in at grade 11 to get the green school diploma, that 2-year program. From 1 year to the next, about 80 to 85% of the community continues. So just to give you a sense of that, so we have some new people joining each August, maybe a few each January as well, but the vast majority are continuing on. And that's important to us, to the culture of the school and our values in a school and a sense of community. Okay, would love to learn more. Thank you, Katja, about the practicalities of actually moving to Bali and all the information surrounding this, which is a big question. Thank you, a big, beautiful question, but maybe you can give us just a few hot tips on that or how the school and community can
the
help.
School and community definitely give you a big support net. Once you are kind of in and accepted as a Green School family, there will be another virtual call like this where they have a panel with the Green School Parents Association, with experienced veteran parents who have a wealth of information about all the different various, real estate, cars, drivers, staff, residents. There's Ganesha just across the road, which is sort of the in-house, out-of-house visa agency, so they can help guide you every step of the way with your visa process, which visa you're going to get. The kids will all go on a student KITAS, whether the adults do KITAS or not is up to you. So lots of different options and lots of support there. So I think the main thing is get your applications in, and once you know you're coming, then you can just tick through every box. The resources on the Green School website are vast through the parents kind of portal, so to speak. So there's a lot of information and
even within your family, you might do different things. We're on different visas. We have different ideas based on some of us travel more than others. So it doesn't have to be some stringent system that you need to be worried about. I find it really easy moving to Indonesia, actually.
Yeah,
So-
fairly
Good.
simple.
That's good news. But we do know it's a big deal moving, and most of our families that are here have moved to Bali to come to the school. So that always feels like a great sense of responsibility. So we try as best we can to get support to incoming families once they're locked in by checking in, having Zoom sessions and so on well before orientation day, which is the first day. So as well as a special microsite, a website for new families that has resources on there, and making sure we help get our new families connected to the Great Green School Parent Hive. So thank you so much. Okay, I think we've got time for a couple more quick questions. There's a question about summer school. I mentioned the camps, but also this question is around whether children can come and join a class temporarily. It's not something we do, just to answer that quickly, but please reach out to the admissions team if you have more questions. And I love this from Meryl. Meryl is saying that they would love to hear about the piano teacher as well once we get that locked in. So we'll let everyone know. Publish it on the website. Piano teacher has been found. But the real question in there is there rock climbing? And I can answer that quickly. We have a climbing wall. It is brand new at Green School, and that was actually powered by our parent association at Green School. Very, very exciting new facility we've added to the campus. So it's a bouldering wall. Okay, Sal, very quickly, where do our teachers come from and how many are local?
It's about 80 teachers on the faculty team, half of them are local. The teachers come from everywhere, basically. We try to be as diverse as possible. I don't think there's one sort of nationality that stands out. And obviously there's 2 Aussies here, but we're definitely not reflective of I know teachers from North America, from Europe, from Africa, from India, from other parts of Asia, everywhere basically,
Yeah. And a lot from Indonesia, of course.
And a lot from Indonesia. And some of our Indonesian teachers, especially I think the early years in primary, they've been here for nearly as long as the school has. They're quite expert, awesome educators.
Thank you, Sal. This one from Barbara, I'm going to read it out because it's beautiful. Hello from Belgium. Thanks for this great presentation. We love you too, Barbara.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Is there an entrance exam to get in? Did you have to do an entrance exam?
No,
No.
we did not.
No, we look at reports, we look at have conversations with parents and students through middle school and high school. It becomes really sort of tailor-made and personal. We need this to be right for you. This is a big move to Indonesia. It's a different type of school. We need you to be fully aware of what it is, and we'll have many active conversations with you through the admissions team and possibly even with some of the leadership team here as well.
That's
no formal exam to get in.
That's right. For us, it's all about the right fit for us and the right fit for you, and you know your child best. So the more you can reach out early, come to things like this, read what's published on the website, follow us on our channels, ask those questions so you can really understand as best you can what Green School has to offer, and to make that assessment about whether you feel that is right for your child or your family. And then we love the opportunity to get to know you too, and that's what the admissions process is all about. It's getting to know each other. Thank you so much. Just another quick question. Is there a waiting list for each level in questions about particular classes, and when should people apply? So we're going to throw to Christina in just a minute, and she's going to be able to help you with that, and then you'll have the contacts post this as well so you can follow up individually. I think that's it. I think just a final question there about younger children for whom English might not be their first language and might not have much English. And I think, Sal, it's fair to say that that's something we're super open to for younger learners to potentially come straight into the main program. They're learning to speak and communicate alongside everyone else at that age usually.
And often they'll be learning 3 languages. They'll be learning a home language, an English language, Bahasa Indonesia in song and play. Quite amazing.
Fantastic.
To see their growth. Yeah.
All right, so I think we are going to wrap up from the bamboo settee here and throw to Christina. I want to say thank you, everybody that joined. I think these are the best virtual open day questions we have ever won. So round of applause to you.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Don't forget to fill out the survey. Give us some feedback. We love getting some feedback. Help us continue to learn here at Green School. And final word, a word of goodbye from our friends here. Jasper, Christine.
Yep, bye. Hope to see you here.
Yeah. See you soon.
Weren't they awesome? Thank you.
Yeah.
They're brand new to the community
Yeah.
and here for you today. So brilliant. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute
you.
pleasure to have you here for the conversation. Sal, as always, lovely to have a chat with you.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I get really sort of buzzed about just me helping people understand Green School. You know, we hope it's changed my life personally as a father, as a professional. This could be the first time for a life-changing moment for you and your family and your kids. So yeah, thanks very much for hanging out.
Great. Thank you, Sal. And with
Take
that,
care.
I will hand over to Christina. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for that, Kate, and thank you, Sal, and thank you, Casper and Christine. What an amazing session that was. I just love that. I know you probably know as well that we do these every few months, and every session is so different because of you at home getting involved, asking questions, and being really active participants, but also the parents who are joining us. They all have different perspectives and different insights. So it's such a really, really great way, as Sal said, to get to know Green School and get to know the different participants here, the teachers, the staff, the parents and the students, of course, as well. Now, there were quite a lot of questions about the application and admission process, so let me just take a few minutes to go through them with you. First of all, I want to thank you again for being so involved. Lots of parents are interested in setting up individual Zoom calls. I'm really excited to do that. That's why I'm here for, so happy to do that. I've already gotten a list of parents who I will email you today and tomorrow, so wait for the email and then we'll organize some calls for next week, possibly even tomorrow or Friday as well. And then we can discuss the application process individually as well. Now, there were quite a few questions about the January admission. I am aware that some parents are on a different spectrum of the application process at the moment. So some have already submitted the full application and you're just waiting to hear from us. We will be in touch in the next few weeks. We're reviewing the active applications and allocating some places as we have vacancies for January. If you have not completed your application, but you are still interested for the January 24 spots, please submit your application as soon as possible. We do have a wait list, but there are vacancies popping up across a few grades. So please, if you are interested for the January intake, get your full application in as soon as possible. The worst case scenario at the moment, if we cannot offer January, we are trying to accommodate the latest August intake as well. That leads me to the August admission. So we are also open for the August 24 admission, of course, and in fact we're closing our early submission at the 15th of September. So that is next week already. So if you're looking for August 24 intake, make sure that you submit your full application by the 15th of September. And we're then starting the same application and review process, and we're starting then allocating places from as early as January 24 for the August 24 intake as well. We're aware that there's lots of families also interested in 25 and beyond, so please get in your application as soon as possible. We're starting to review them already, and we're in a very fortunate position to have wait lists for the January and August intakes in a few years to come as well. Now, I will leave you with a short video just to talk you through the application process if you haven't done so. We will also send you an email with all the information that we discussed today and really useful links about the application process and again, resources as well that Kate and Sal share with you today as well. Thank you again for your time, and we look forward to hearing and seeing you hopefully soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hi, my name is Christina Dickinson. I'm the Head of Admissions and Marketing here at Green School Bali. My role is to support families all the way through our admissions process to join us and settle in here at our school. Today, I'll be talking you through our admissions process and helping you navigate through the steps to enroll your children here at Green School Bali. Here's a step-by-step guide to joining us. Step 1, get to know us, get to know our learning program. We encourage all families to get to know us more and see if we're the right school for your family. Explore the website, read through the admissions and learning program pages, and watch our videos about our unique learning program and experiences. These videos share in-depth information all about our learning program and projects, all the way from early years, primary school, middle school and high school. All links can be found on our website here. We are an inclusive school, but we really look for students and families who want to make change in the world, whatever their background. Here are some things that we like to see in potential families. A passion for progressive education that blends the learning of knowledge with the mastery of skills and the nurturing of values, curiosity and motivation, and learners with a love and interest in the natural world. An active commitment to learning, particularly for our older students who need to be responsible and motivated to take advantage of the opportunities that we offer here on the Green School campus. A desire to be part of the community, including respect for others, respect for Bali, and honouring our educators as professionals and experts. And a genuine readiness to make personal changes to help make our world more sustainable. Step 2. Submit your application. Submit your application through our Open Apply with us to review. To start your application, visit our website here and click Apply Now. Starting an application does not mean you need to commit to joining us, and every application is individually reviewed. The first step means that we can really get a conversation going and get to know each other. With an application and process, we can offer virtual events and send you information every step of the way, so you know what's going on at the school. And you get to meet some of our team here and the community who support new families like you from application all the way to the settling in process. We will support each step of the process and ask you to submit all relevant documents for our educators to review as you move through the process. We love getting to know each family along the way and to help you and us being the best fit for your child. Not quite ready yet? No problem. Click here to inquire now on our website to create a registration of interest on our Open Apply system, and we will keep in touch with you with our admissions newsletter. It is quite common for there to be a wait list for enrollment spaces at Green School Bali, as we've got limited spaces available and maintain a low teacher to student ratio. So the sooner a family gets their application started, the better. Once your application has been submitted, you will have access to a suite of communication touchpoints to help you guide you all the way to get here into Green School Bali. We offer monthly virtual calls, newsletters, and a closed Facebook group where you can connect with new and current families. We also have dedicated New Families microsite packed with resources and information and useful tips and guides to support you and your journey to join us here at school. Step 3. Application review. Your application is then reviewed by our educators and our admissions team. We have an intricate and in-depth process. We carefully review all applications and make sure Green School is the right fit for them. Our team will be in touch with you if and when your application is approved. We love sending those good news emails. Those are the 3 key steps to submitting your application with us here at Green School Bali. For any questions and queries related to the admissions process, please review the admissions page on our website at the link here. And please don't hesitate to contact us at admissions@greenschool.org. We wish you all the best and can't wait to welcome you here at Green School Bali.